If you want a really fun but powerful way to heal your inner child and get to know yourself better, then watch this video because I'm going to share what I have been up to lately that has not only been incredibly cathartic as I'm going through and processing the loss of my mother, and also really fun and putting me in a state that's allowing me to actually access my inner self and heal my inner child a lot better. So my name is Trisha Feldman. I am the founder of Powerful and Poised. I am a spoken word poet and confidence coach. I talk about a whole hodgepodge of things on this channel, and usually I just share whatever is on my mind and heart. And I have been so lit up just literally the past 2 days because of something I've been doing, and so I just want to take some time to share a video about it. So last fall, around September of 2025, my dad took my parents' old video camera. So this was in the 90s and early 2000s. You see it, we had a big video camera with little cassette film tapes, and my dad digitized all of them. And my mom had asked him to, and she was so excited for us to watch these home videos. But the only DVD player my parents had in their house was in the master bedroom, and so in order for us to watch those videos, we had to be sitting on the master bed, and my dad didn't want to go through the hassle of setting up the DVD player in the family room where we would normally watch TV. And so even though every holiday since then I was like, let's watch home videos, no one ever wanted to, and so we didn't until literally my mom's last day alive. Because we were all in the bedroom anyway. She was laying on her bed and we were all crowded around her, and I was like, let's watch some home videos. And the DVD player was there, so we turned it on, and the first disc that we watched, the only one we watched with her that day, was from when my brother was being born and brought home from the hospital, and then there were some videos of us playing with him when he was a baby. And there were a lot of videos of just my sister and me taking the camera and being goofballs. But anyway, it was the most healing and cathartic thing I think we could have done on my mom's last day living. But I want to talk about why watching old videos is so powerful and healing, or even just looking through old photos. Not everyone you might not have access to videos from your childhood. But this experience that I've been having of watching home videos and looking through old photos has been so incredibly cathartic. And it was just by happenstance that we happened to do that day, but I'm so grateful that we did. So that was then, and then time has passed. That was the end of May, end of May, and now it's July, and my birthday was the other day, and I was really kind of dreading this birthday because I'm like, it's the first birthday without my mom. I don't really have plans. It's a Saturday, so I feel like there's more pressure to have plans, and so I ended up just having a beach day with my family, my dad and my sister and her kids and my brother and my brother-in-law. But leading up to that day, I was like, you know what I really want to do on my birthday? Watch more home videos. Because there is just something so healing about it. One thing we also did after my mom passed was go through old photos, because we wanted to display a lot of photos at her funeral, and my uncle was putting together a video of her life. And just looking through old photos was so healing. And so on my birthday, we pulled out the DVDs again and sat around and watched these videos. And I think the reason it's so healing, there are a few reasons. One is it gives me footage of my mom that I, when she was not sick and when she was younger, and so that's just nice to watch and see how she interacted with us as kids. But also seeing yourself as a child, I think, is just really powerful. I actually would get emotional at certain points, and I still do when I see myself as a kid, because I've been seeing things that obviously I've completely forgotten about. I don't remember recording these videos, but then I see parts of my personality that I've forgotten or that I've neglected. And when you look at old photos or watch old videos, you see your personality and you see the things you used to do. So a few years ago, I had the experience of going through a bunch of old photos because I was putting together something for my mom, I think. And I was like, oh my gosh, in every picture, I'm in a costume. Like, I'm in an outfit. And a few years before that, we'd look through old photos and I was like, oh my gosh, I was obsessed with my brother. My brother's 6 years younger than me. So I was like 5.5, 6 when he was born. And I was just like so obsessed with him as a baby. In every photo, I'm like holding him. And even as a toddler, I'm like holding him. And it was like, oh, interesting. Maybe that's why I've always felt this call to be a mom, because when I was that age, I had this baby around that I just loved having around. And then the videos I watched on my birthday, a lot of them were me, and along with either my brother or my best friend at the time, we would like do these little skits, and I would have these voices and accents and like improvise this. I was a host on these shows, and my mom always said she thought I would be an actress, and now I totally understand why, because I was such a ham in front of the camera. And not only acting, but I would direct these things and like improvise. I would basically write the skit. And watching all of this has almost brought up, I don't want to say regret, because I don't really think that that's helpful or useful, but it just reminds me of what a passion I had for film and for writing and for acting. And sometimes people say like, oh, but that's kind of what you're doing now, because I'm doing spoken word poetry and performing, and it kind of is what I'm doing now, but I took a really long break. So imagine if I had had the confidence to keep up with that from that age, when I was like 10 or 11 years old doing these videos, till now, who knows what my life would be like. And this isn't about regret or missing the past, but I think this can be very powerful and therapeutic, because you recognize who you were and what you love to do. And I've heard it said, and I've shared on this channel before, people say that whatever you love to do between the ages of 7 and 11 is likely your true purpose. That is your calling. That is what you're put on this earth to do. And not everyone remembers what they love to do, or not. And some people are like, I just wanted to be a famous basketball player, and maybe that's not in the cards at this point in their life. So I feel very lucky that the things I love to do are things that I could potentially do now. But I just can't help but be a little sad that the girl I saw in that video did not keep that confidence, those dreams throughout adolescence. And it's been an interesting period of reflection for me, where I've been thinking of like, where did I lose that? Where along the way did I lose that childlike imagination? And I remember being in high school and even college and wanting to make videos and having all these ideas for videos and like advertisements for things and writing scripts for things. And then now, here's the funny part, and here's the part that's given me a lot of like introspection, is now I could make a video like that. People are influencers all the time. And when I watched these home videos the other day, I was like, why am I not an influencer? Like, why am I not making videos every day? And I don't know if I lost the passion for it. I don't know if the self-consciousness came in. I don't know. But it's just been so interesting to reflect on, because if I at that age had access to all the technology we have now, I might have potentially been like a very successful cinematographer, because I had so much imagination. And it was really fun to watch the way my personality was at that time, and my brother's personality, because he's not an actor. He doesn't have any kind of ambitions for that, but it was really interesting just to see how we interacted and see the dynamic. And it's been very healing too, because I got to see how my parents interacted with us as children. I got to see how I interact with my siblings as children. And in the world of self-help, if you've done any kind of therapy, you know that how you were raised and who you were as a child influences your subconscious mind for the rest of your life. So watching old videos from when you were a child or looking at photos and seeing what your childhood was like not only can remind you of things, but I just think it's so healing. And it has, in my meditations, I've been like, it has helped me connect the dots of like, oh, like little Trisha really wanted attention. And so you can kind of use that to understand not only how you are and why you are the way you are now, but also to heal it. And so you can go into a meditative state and talk to yourself as a child. I now have a photo of myself as a child in my kitchen because it's like very comforting, and say, you know what, Trisha, like, you don't need the whole world's attention. It's gonna be okay. Like, share what you want to share for the purpose of creating art, and it will reach the people it's meant to. But I don't feel that desperate need for attention that I think I wanted as a child. But what's also interesting is these were home videos. The way I interacted at my house was very different from the way I interacted with the world. I certainly did not have that kind of confidence out and about in the real world. So I'm sharing all of this not to just talk about my personal experience, but to say, if you are feeling lost, if you are feeling depressed, if you are feeling confused or uncertain of what you want to do with your life, I encourage you, if you have access to it, go find home videos or old photos and connect with who you were as a child. Now, if you had a bad childhood, if your memories of your childhood were negative and you're afraid that watching those videos might make you sad, then do this with a therapist or do it with a grain of salt. But the healing part about it is even the negatives can teach us something. So there were parts in the videos where I'm like, I don't love that that's how the interaction was with my parents. Like, I don't love that they did that. But it doesn't have to be a matter of blaming or like faulting our parents for what they were doing. It's actually given me a lot of compassion for them, of seeing like, oh, they were like my age and they had me at that age. And, you know, and just, you kind of see your parents in a different light. And it also explains a lot. So then instead of shaming ourselves like, oh my gosh, why am I this way? It's like, oh wow, my parents treated me that way, or my siblings treated me that way. Or like, I'm realizing I was kind of a bully to my little brother. And I think him seeing that has been kind of like, oh, maybe it's probably part of why my personality is the way it is. And so it just helps uncover a lot. And because it's in the past, it's, I think, easier to detach a little. So I have not watched it and been like, oh my gosh, mom and dad, I can't believe you treated me that way. It's been like, oh, interesting. Now, oh, I get it. Now it clicks. And it's, I know I've said this a million times, it's been so healing and so cathartic. So if you have access to that, even if they're negative experiences that you're watching, use it as a learning opportunity to get to know yourself better, and just without judgment, open your mind, open your heart, and just connect with your inner child. And then you can give your inner child, that small version of yourself, whatever you didn't get. So since I clearly wanted a lot of attention, I'm trying to give myself more attention and say like, look, you don't need the approval of everyone. You don't need everyone's eyes on you all the time. And I don't. And it makes creating and sharing for me come from a very different place. I'm not like desperate for everyone to see this video and for it to go viral. And it's made me really question, like, what am I doing with my life? Clearly I was meant to be doing, like, I don't want to say meant to be an actress because I don't know if that's true, but like looking at my natural gifts as a child has been like, that's the state I'm in right now. It's just, curious. And that's a powerful state to be in, because that's when we're opening our minds to let answers come to us instead of forcing, like, what's my purpose? What is my calling? What am I supposed to do? It's just, interesting. And letting messages come to you and come through you. So especially if you've been questioning what your purpose is, or why you are the way you are, or what you should be doing with your time, ask your parents or your siblings or whoever you can for footage or photos from when you were younger. And if you don't have that, then journal about your childhood just as much as you can remember and just see what comes up. Let me know what you think and leave a comment letting me know what comes up, what you love to do when you were a child. And I think what's also so healing about it is, for some reason, I watch those videos and I'm just like in the best mood. I'm like, like I had a good birthday, even though there were parts that were really sad. It was like just that connection to my childhood and like, and I feel like a little kid. We literally went to the arcade after we watched those videos because I was like, I want to do something fun. And we went go-karting, and I was like, I guess on my birthday I just find ways to be a little kid, to like age backwards. But anyway, that's all for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you love to do as a child, especially between the ages of 7 and 11, and get curious. What does that mean for your future?